you're one of the few empresses that really speak out when it comes to domestic violence. And,
Yes.
treading Rastafari myself some years ago, just as I said, I'm no longer, but, I've come across bridging where, like, a lot of empresses have been abused by their kings. But because of the
Yes.
so-called dogma of Rastafari, they don't really speak out when it comes
Yes.
to domestic abuse within the Rastafari community. So
Yes.
what is your word of advice to any empress that's out there suffering through domestic violence from the, in the name of love and empress and Rastafari keeping the vibe and religion, all of that to suppress those women? What's your advice to them as someone who really speak out from your own experience when it comes to domestic violence?
Self-love is medicine. You must love yourself a little bit more than any situation you find yourself in. The reason you were in that relationship is because of love. So love of yourself now should be the reason why you choose you. It doesn't have to be bitter. It doesn't have to be ugly. If you, the individual, understands what you need to do to be okay. Because at the end of the day, we are going to go through stuff. We're going to experience difficulties, but it's how we process, it's how we deal with these things that will make the difference. Nothing nor no one, no reason should make you sit in a situation that kills your spirit physically, mentally, spiritually. You should choose life. And sometimes choosing peace is expensive, right? Mm-hmm. Because it takes a lot of sacrifices. You're giving up on a lot of stuff that you have built. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, do you want to build a house just to burn it down? Or would you rather walk away and look at that house and say, I built it? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's better to take that approach. And I'd love to say to sisters out there, love don't hurt. So if you're hurting, it's not love. You know what I mean? So think about what you need to do. Start looking in your mind how you need to process, how you need to think about the future that you would really want in opposed to the one you're investing in. And start from there. I love to tell people that your mind is your greatest asset. And if you learn how to control your mind, nobody can control you.
Definitely. 42 gone into the 2 here on Yaad Settingz on Asaase Radio, the voice of our land. And we're reasoning with Queen Ifrica all the way from Jamaica. And trust me, it's people who are following knows that we are all learning seriously. Now, if you look into the media, like social media and all that, Queen Ifrica did say that people has kind of dragged her into the gutter and all that, kind of beat her up several times and all that. And then at the point in time, she had to maybe take a break, from the space and go work on herself and all that. But I would like to find out from her, how was she able to do that? How were you able to do that to keep your sanity from all the happenings around you? Because all of us sometimes we do go through things, Empress. Myself at a point in time in my life, and I said anytime I say this, water coming at my face simply because at a point in time, on that fateful day, that fateful night, I was holding a rope. I wanted to hang myself and kill myself. But again, but again, I'm like, Lagazee, if you end this over here, people will stop calling your name. People will stop doing this and all that. And then again, an inner voice spoke to me and say, do you want to do this to yourself because people are saying A, B, C, D, S, Y, Z? Don't you think if you can wait a bit and go deeper into yourself, you can overcome it? It was a struggle between me that night, but I was able to overcome that devil on that particular night, and then I am here today. Now, share with us, how were you able to, woman up? I don't want to say man up. How were you able to woman up to be able to stand strong till now?
The same thing you did. I choose God. And whoever you conceive your God to be, that's why I don't personalize God anymore. Whoever you conceive your God to be, and in your heart that is the true and living giver of breath, the breath that we breathe. and you turn to that source and you bring everything to that source. Everything. You know, you don't need no psychiatrist when you go to that source. No, none of those kind of therapists you don't need when you go to that source, because you don't see a person, but you feel the difference in when you are sincere enough to lay it out in a quiet space, in a quiet moment, whether it is wherever you choose, whether it's a church, whether it's a mosque, wherever you choose to go to that source, you must go there sincerely, diligently, willing to accept sometimes not having the answer you need immediately, but be patient enough to wait on that source to answer you. I always used to say, I'm not letting go of this elm of this garment until you answer me, you know? And I think it's that faith in trusting in that, knowing that there's a source that sees all our troubles, that hears all our cries, that feels all our pain with us. And it's for us to really acknowledge that that is true and take it to them. I always love to say, I don't pray because I have an issue. I pray because I'm always giving thanks for the moment I am in. You know what I mean? And I have been at the stage where you were, where I wanted to end my life as well. And it was the kind of same thought process of to say, life is amazing. And because you're going through difficulties shouldn't mean that you should want to give up on life, because life never gave up on any of us. We give up on life. Life don't give up on us. And so it's just putting yourself, choosing the good in you over the things that affect you negatively. You know, I always say, I am not what happened to me. So none of us are immune to the struggles in life, but it's how you process dealing with it. And I think over time, it began to be more real for me, because I started seeing the difference, because it's not something that you can say you're going to do. You actually have to do it. And to do it, it's always better to be happy than to be sad. You know, sadness comes as easy as happiness does.
Definitely.
But happiness lasts longer. The effects of happiness last longer and is more better effective on your body than the feeling of sadness. So it's choice. It's choosing, using your medicine as pain, you know, using your pain as medicine, I should say, and knowing that, yes, we're going to feel pain, but we're going to push through it. You know, and emotional pain is the worst pain ever, because you don't know what to do with it. But accepting that it is painful is a place to start. And then figuring out how to move from there is the other step. And once you start stepping, you find yourself on a journey.
All right. Wow. Beautiful.